Hello there guys and girls, and welcome to another PvP strategy analysis brought to you by Guild Wars 2 Online. Today we're checking out an Elementalist build that uses dual daggers. A lot of damage in this build, a great mobility, and it's really good fun to play. It's pretty much a structured PvP 8v8 kind of build rather than tournaments, but yeah, it's great all-rounder and really good fun. So in each achievement we're going to take a look at first. For the fire achievement we've got Drake's Breath, Burning Speed, Ring of Fire and Fire Grab. These first three abilities all apply burning in AoE fields as well, giving us some great combo fields we can also use, and also Fire Grab deals more damage to a burning opponent, so great synergy coming in there. In the water achievement we've got healing on the number 2 and number 5. The number 5 also procures a condition, whereas we've got some great ways to stack up shield with our number 3 and number 4. In the lightning achievement we've got one of my favourite skills for the Elementalist, the shocking aura, giving us a 5-second aura that will stun anyone who attacks us in melee range for a second. This is a great counter to warriors or any sort of burst builds that use melee like thieves and stuff like that. A fantastic counter against professions like that. Ride the Lightning there on the number 4, another great ability. This is a fantastic little gap closer. It gets you in nice and close, and you can also follow that with Updraft to knock back the opponent as well as do yourself, give yourself a little bit of range. You then get Swift Spoon so you can close the gap quickly again if you wish. You can also then swap back into Fire Attunement if you wanted to, close the gap with the number 3, follow that with number 4 for the Ring of Fire, and then Fire Grab for some extra damage because they're now burning. It provides you a great chain of CC throughout that and some pretty high damage. Lastly, in the Earth achievement, we've got some great CC as well. Magnetic Grass there on the number 3 makes a great gap closer and also immobilise to the target. You can chain the number 4 onto that as well, Earthquake to knock them down. Follow that at number 2 to cripple them, and then just swap back into another achievement. For a heal, we've gone with the Glyph of Eternal Harmony. This heals you and you gain a boon based on your achievement. It doesn't really matter what state you're in. If you're in the Lightning achievement, it's probably the weakest. Gives you swiftness, but helps you move around the map a bit quicker. Might is great coming in from the Fire achievement. Of course, if you want to get the maximum out of it, though, you want to be using it in Earth or Water because you get protection or regeneration, which obviously helps for what you're trying to do in healing yourself and protecting yourself. Utility skills, we've gone with Arcane Blast and Arcane Wave. These two abilities are both combo finishers and can be used for great synergy with the Ring of Fire. So you can get AoE mites coming in from Arcane Wave, as well as Arcane Blast providing more burning to the target from the projectile finisher. They also automatically crit and deal some pretty solid damage. Mist Form is our final utility skill, morph into an invulnerable vaporous mist for a brief time. Lasts 3 seconds, it's a great little stun breaker, gets you out of dodge very, very effectively. Lastly, for our elite skill, we've gone for the Glyph of Elementals. You can swap this out if you wished to the Tornado if you prefer that. Of course, the Tornado does have a few problems with it, but yeah, the Glyph is probably better because it gives you a bit more sustain on point and you've got a bit more options with it, whereas the Tornado can be more helpful if you're fighting in groups. So it depends on what you're trying to do. If you're roaming, I would say probably best to go with the Glyph of Elementals because it can give you more situational support because you can get healing from the Ice Elemental or Air Elemental for the stuns or things like that depending on what you want to do. Whereas if you're fighting in more team fights, the Tornado is probably more effective. So for our armor, we've chosen to go with Superior Rune of Strength, giving us plus power, increased might duration, 3% chance to gain might for 20 seconds when hit, and plus 5% damage while under the effect of might. We have might up a hell of a lot of time with this build, and we definitely have it out while we're in the Fire achievement, so that's going to give us plus 5% damage nearly all the time, as well as giving us increased might duration, so we're going to have that might up even longer. So a really important rune there, a great choice. Next up we've gone for the Sigil of Superior Bloodlust in our first dagger, giving us plus 50 power each time we kill a foe, because of course each kill is worth 5 points in structured PvP. PvP Dagger of Battle, gain 3 stacks of might for 20 seconds when you swap to this weapon while in combat. This triggers on your achievement swap, but do bear in mind there is a hidden internal cooldown of 9 seconds on this, so you can't just spam it through all your achievements. It will only trigger on the very first one. For our amulet, we've gone for the PvP Soldier's Amulet, giving us power, which is the main stat we're getting from that, but then toughness and vitality as well, because we need to be able to take some damage because we're in melee range. As far as our traits go, we've gone 30, 10, 0, 0, 30. 30 points in Fire Magic, giving us a 20% chance to inflict burning whenever we're attacked by a foe in melee, giving us some more burning uptime. Increased damage by 10% while you're attuned to fire, which is very important as we're going to be dishing out quite a lot of our damage through the Fire achievement. Inflict damage at your location when you're attuned to fire is helpful, but not all that important. All your fire weapon skills recharge 20% faster, again another important trait because you want to be able to get through all those fire abilities, swap out to another achievement for a few seconds, burn all that off and get back into the Fire achievement and be able to burn them off all again in quick time. Deal 5% more damage to burning foes. We've got a lot of burning at the time of this build, so again that's going to give us a near enough constant 5% increase in damage. And each fire spell you cast add might for 5 seconds. So this is where we're getting a lot of our might from, which has some fantastic synergy, as we said before, with our rune choices. So we're going to get a lot of might coming in from that. 10 points into air magic is something you can play about with. If you want to move this down to earth or water, you can. I like it in the air magic because it gives us this 10% faster movement speed while we're in the air achievement, and then glyphs recharge 20% faster, affecting both our heal and our elite skill together. We have a bit more uptime on those, which is pretty damn important. 30 points in the arcane line. Grant yourself fury for 2 seconds on achievement swap. Helpful. Again, this gives us a 20% increase in our crit rate, which is going to be important, but for the 2 seconds it's not really a massive difference. We might be able to get it off in a little bit, but because we're generally swapping achievements and not really going for a big damage skill initially, if you look at the way that most of this build works, we're opening up like the burning abilities and stuff like that. It's not really going to help too much. Arcane skills recharge 20% faster. Again, this is a trait you can play about with a little bit if you wanted to. You can go for the elemental achievement, which would then make this next trait a little bit more important, where achievement bonuses linger for 5 seconds. 15% faster movement speed while you're wielding a dagger. This is another important trait. You could move it around if you wanted to, but it helps you stay on range a little bit better. It helps you move around the target and circle kind of a little bit better and stuff like that. 25 points gives our skills have a chance to apply a condition on critical hits. This is again not very important because we don't have a very high crit rate. But then for the final skill, we've gone for the based on achievement arcane skills cause each different effect. It's basically going to be using those arcane skills while we're in the fire achievement, so it's going to give us a lot of burning uptime, which is going to help a lot with this trait back here, increase 5% damage on burning foes. So again, that's something you could play about with if you wanted to. You could swap it out for the dodge ability there, which it creates a effect when you dodge every 10 seconds to apply Flame Blast, Cleansing Wave, Blinding Flash, or Churning Earth. So basically gives you a bit more damage capabilities if you wanted it. The main reason we are 30 points into the arcane line though is because of this bit here, 60% achievement rate recharge. This gives us a 9-second cooldown rather than 15 seconds on our achievement swaps, and you want to be able to swap out quite a bit. You could lower this down to 20 if you wanted to, and perhaps go 20 points into another line or get 10 in each line, but it's sort of how you want to play it really. But I did enjoy having the extra burning up time from the achievement skills there, giving us a better chance of getting that extra damage off the fire grab. It depends how you want to play it. So we're going to be on the Legacy of the Foe Fire for this match. We're playing for the blue team, and it's an 8v8 structured PvP game. This build does tend to favour structured PvP matches, as I've seen. It can be viable in tournaments. I have played it in tournaments, but it's not quite as effective as other builds of a similar sort of setup, like for the warrior or thief sort of roaming builds. I'm going to slow the video down as we come to this first encounter. So we tried to updraft that thief there. We managed to avoid his damage, but he did miss the updraft as well, so it didn't really go too well for either of us. But we're playing it safe. A lot of thief builds at the moment rely on a heavy initial burst, so we're just trying to play it a little bit safe and just trying to avoid that incoming damage. He stealths here, which avoids our fire grab, or it looks like he avoided our fire grab anyway. We can't really tell because he was in stealth, but he managed to get out of that pretty effectively. You can see him coming back up. He does have burning applied to him, however, and we're letting loose with both of our arcane abilities and some number 1 spam to bring him down into the down state. And I'm just going to speed the video up while we finish him off. Those arcane abilities are guaranteed to crit, and they dish out some pretty solid damage, and they're also projectile and blast finishers respectively, so they can dish out some pretty effective combos as well. So we've picked up this Elementalist now as we're coming over towards the waterfall. Again, jumping in with the number 3 skill there, and opening up with both our projectile arcane finisher and then our blast one to try and dish out some damage. Unfortunately, we weren't on top of the fire field then, or we would have granted ourselves AoE might to everyone around us. So now we picked out this engineer as well. We've got some support from our teammates as well. So we're bringing up our elite skill there, calling in the elemental, which is going to give us some stuns and support, because there's a bit of a team fight going on, so it's going to help us out a little bit there. Engineer goes down very, very quickly. And we're checking out what's going on in the middle now. So we've got a 1v2 happening over there, so we're going to go and turn it back in our favour. We can see we've got a couple players, sorry, it's a 2v2 now. It seems to be, and we're turning into 3v2 to bring ourselves a bit more power. We're focusing initially on that engineer. I'm just going to cut that video back a second just so I can walk you through what just happened. So we came down here and opening up with the number 3 ability to get close and immobilise him, and then we're chaining on the number 4 for the knockdown to keep this player just out the fray for a minute, just keep him CC, stop him from doing anything. Coming back in with the number 2, laying down the cripple on him, so we just basically disabled him for a few seconds and taking him out of the fight. We're then trying to get a number 5 ability off here, but we got focused a little bit and panicked. Not really the best move. We should have probably waited for the whole challenge to come off. We wasted our mist form here. It wasn't really needed. I think we thought we were going to get focused a bit heavier than we actually did. Players from the red team there dropping down left, right and centre. Good play by the blue team to bring them all down. Again, opening up our fire combination here on this down player. ditching out some damage. So we've got in the background there, we can see a warrior coming in towards us as well, so we're going to encounter him. He's got fire affected on him anyway. We're getting our combo fields off there, and he's gone into the down state anyway. Again, we're wasting the fire grab there. Should have held back on that and not used it just at that moment. He's got a very long cooldown. You don't want to be wasting it like that. Just going to speed the video up. So again, there's a bit of an encounter going on over near the waterfall down here again. So we're going to come and assist our teammate. We've got a player down there for the red team, but we've got this other player trying to stop our player from downing him. So we're going to knock back that thief and keep him busy. The Elementalist did still manage to escape. He was the down player, but we're now going to be focusing on this thief to try and give our teammate a chance to finish off that Elementalist. So the Elementalist being brought down there in the background. This engineer's just dropped down, so we're going to encounter on him with the assistance of this CC build warrior by the look of it. So he's CCing him while we channel up our number 5 ability there for a 4.6k non-crit on that engineer to dish out some heavy damage. The number 5 on the earth is very, very strong if you've got some support from a CC player like that warrior. So we're falling back a little bit here, and this is a big mistake at this moment as we had a large group of a red team come in against us and bring us into the down state here. Because the way Guild Wars 2 spawning works, you respawn in waves, and that was obviously a large wave that respawned at 58 coming in here about 10 seconds later to attack us. We should have held off a little bit then. So we are in the down state, and the Elementalist has had some changes made to its down state recently. And the number 2 ability now grants us Mist Form, so we can move around and avoid damage as we're doing right now. So that's basically getting us out of dodge. That player was going to try and finish us off. We managed to move out and get away from him. We can see a couple of players already getting beaten up quite badly. The number 3 ability on the downstate is also very strong. You can see what's there, using it to bring down that engineer. Our teammate is going in for the finisher, and this warrior here is just dishing out some damage on us and not actually going for a finishing blow. So hopefully our teammate will finish them off just like that. We rally, and now this warrior, is now going to be focused by 2v1. We're able to get our heal off and get back up, switching into the air achievement for an updraft. Failed to hit him, but it did provide some support. He's popped off Endure Pain now, so we popped off our Mistform to cancel it. We avoided his Bull's Charge there, which was good, as he was no doubt going to go for a big burst. So good counter that use there of the Bull's Charge. He's now taking some damage once again. His Endure Pain's worn off, so we're coming back in with our fire combination to dish out some strong damage. Again, wasting fire grab once again. It's quite a hard skill to actually initiate properly, and it can cause you some pretty serious problems, really. But it does hit really, really hard when it does eventually hit. So this at this point, the blue team's got really strong control of the map. They're dominating the waterfall graveyard area. You notice how we've just been staying around here. We're not actually moving down anywhere. Some players coming in towards the graveyard once again, so we're going to come back here and try to support them. Opening with a little bit of fire combo there on that engineer. We're getting hit back there by that whirlwind, the tornado skill there of that Elementalist. The match is also balancing at the moment. A lot of the red team have dropped out, which does tend to happen in structured PvP at the moment, which is a little bit sad that tends to go on. But as you can see, they are getting torn up pretty badly in the central point at the moment. 2 players going down there. Just going to slow the video down again. We've got an interesting counter here. We've got an engineer in the back and a warrior up front. So we come over here, knocking down that warrior. Coming in instantly for the rally on our teammate. They're doing a good job of CCing him and keeping him busy until I can get this revive off, getting our teammate back up on their feet just as the warrior goes down as well. So good play there from the blue team in general. They're just really bringing the critical mass to the points when they're needed, and they do have a slight advantage at the moment as well, because like I said, a lot of the red team have dropped out around about now. Speed the video up for a little bit. The waterfall is uncontested at the moment. For some strange reason, the red team never finished capping it. You can see they started and they got it to nearly all the way, but they end up leaving it for some very strange reason. So we're going to come over here and just pick it up and start gaining some points from our team. It looks like the red team have made a move towards the quarry and are going to try and cap that. But they've also got some players around the graveyard as well. They managed to neutralise that point. So now here we have to make a judgment call. You can see a lot of players up there for the red team at the moment. There's at least 4 or 5 players there and only 2 players from the blue. So we make the judgment call here just to leave that encounter alone. This build is not strong enough to handle that. We haven't got the AoE capacity to deal with that kind of fight. You can see they've even got more support coming in there. You can see 2 players heading up towards that point. So what we do decide to do though is come down here and start attacking this gate. This is because this instantly triggers a shout on their team to say your base is under attack, which often makes people fall back, so it might even provide some support by falling back some of their players. An added bonus of this is when we actually came down here, if you actually look at the mini-map in the bottom right hand corner, you can see some of our other teammates were attacking the opposite gate. So this meant we were bringing down both gates at the same time and causing them to split their forces within their base. So we see we've got Mesmer's come over here to try and attack us at the moment anyway, as we begin to fall back, but we've also got some other players in their base currently attacking their guild lord. This is another moment where there's not a lot going on, but we do have a 1v1 now against this warrior. So we're coming in there and initiating with our number 3 skill on the Earth Attunement. Tried to get our number 2 skill off, but he balls charged us even though he was immobilised. We were too close to him and got hit by it. So a bit of a mistake there on our part, and we ended up being CC'd. Falling back there and dodging away. The immobilisation is worn off as we come in, trying to just basically dodge through his attack there. Number 3 skill, following up with number 4. We've got number 5 skill as soon as if we can get the burning blow off on him. Unfortunately, he's not inflicted with burning when it landed, and that's caused a bit of a problem. We dealt a little bit less damage there than we should have done. We've got a nice strong burning stack on him at the moment, which is going to be hurting him pretty badly. We do have an Elementalist coming to attack us as well. Now though, we're getting focused by both these players. We tried to fall back, end up going down into the down state. Now this is the bright side of the new downstate changes between all the professions. A lot of them have had changes made, and this now means you can dictate when you're going to die. Every profession is capable of doing this in some way. Respawn timers are at 58, 38 and 18 seconds past the minute. You can see the timer right now is 8:59. His finish is going to take us into 8:58, so we're going to have to wait a full 20 seconds to respawn if we let him finish us off now. We're into 8:58 there, so that would have caused us problems. If we stayed in 8:59, we could have just let him finish us off and it would have been an instant respawn, but it didn't. So we're going to basically dictate when we're going to die, flew back away from them then, keeping them busy, just keeping them distracted. They're going to be dishing out damage here, they're not helping anywhere else. And this is just more important than us just being in the downstate. If we'd been in the downstate, these players would already be up around the central point at the moment, contesting up there. We are, however, going to be finished off. There's no way of getting out of that. And there we go. The blue team have got a massive score lead at the moment, though. You can see they're just racking up those points. They've got 2 points controlled at the moment around the map. And I believe the quarry is going to become in their control. There we go. The quarry as well. Heading back up towards the central point, the blue team are definitely going to take the victory. There's a 2v1 going on up here at the moment. Slow the video down because this is quite an interesting moment, even though we win in the middle of it. You can see this warrior here is going for the finishing blow on our teammate. We came in and tried to updraft them. We actually got the enemy who was with him. The warrior got feared by our teammate in the downstate, so we managed to push them both back. We come in and go for the revive on our teammate. Blue team win at this moment, but this is quite an interesting tactic you can make as well. We wait for the revive to initiate and then cast our misform, so we're actually invulnerable to all this damage. This warrior is attempting to dish out on us and we get our teammate back up. So just a little bit of an extra victory there with a nice little use of misform there to get our teammate back up without taking any damage. So good play from the blue team throughout this match. I mean, it's definitely a whole team play to get this good, but this build is very, very great fun. It's an absolutely brilliant playing it. I'm really enjoying it. I've definitely been playing it on my own personal account a hell of a lot, and I decided to bring it over to this account just to show it on the channel. So I hope you've enjoyed the video. Don't forget to subscribe if you've made it this far through. I know it was a bit of a long one this week. Thank